Our first story comes from a teenager who found herself in a dangerous situation at the state fair. The narrator and her two best friends were enjoying the rides and attractions when they were approached by a group of people in their 20s. The group seemed loud and intoxicated, but they quickly moved on. However, later that night, the narrator noticed a man in a red mask, black hoodie, jeans, and work boots, carrying what appeared to be an axe or hatchet. At first, she brushed it off, thinking he might be part of a haunted house exhibit. But as the night went on, the masked man kept appearing, making the narrator increasingly uneasy. When the group decided to take a break and get some ice cream, the narrator saw the masked man standing in the distance, staring at them. She tried to ignore him, but he continued to follow them throughout the fair. As the night came to a close, the narrator and her friends headed back to her friend Jamie's house for a bonfire. Suddenly, they heard shuffling in the woods behind the house. Out of the darkness, the axe-wielding masked man appeared, running towards them at full speed. The group fled in terror, seeking refuge in Jamie's pool house. The man began beating on the door, and the narrator sliced her arm on the axe as she struggled to close it. Trapped inside, they called 911 for help. The police arrived, and the masked man was revealed to be Jeff's ex-girlfriend from college. The shocking twist left everyone reeling, and the narrator was left with both physical and emotional scars from the terrifying ordeal. Our second story takes place at a county fair, where the narrator worked maintenance before the school year started. One of his assignments was to clean and maintain the animal barns. Late one night, while working on a water fountain, he heard a commotion coming from the cow barn. Upon investigating, he found the cows mooing and moving their heads frantically, as if trying to escape. Unable to find the source of their distress, the narrator returned to his work. A few nights later, the same thing happened, but this time, he smelled something burning. Fearing for the animal's safety, he searched the building and discovered 6 candles and 3 leather-bound books on the second floor. As he investigated further, he realized someone had been in the barn, causing the disturbance. The narrator informed his manager, and the entire maintenance crew searched the building for signs of a trespasser or anything that could put the animals at risk. Although nothing else happened that night, the narrator couldn't shake the feeling that he had stumbled upon something sinister. To this day, he wonders what he encountered that night and if the trespasser had darker intentions. In our third story, a young woman named Sarah shares her terrifying experience with a stalker neighbor. Sarah lived in an apartment complex and had enjoyed a peaceful first year until a new neighbor, Sam, moved in next door. At first, Sam seemed friendly, if a bit too eager to chat. However, things took a disturbing turn when Sarah overheard Sam and his girlfriend having a violent argument one night. Sarah and her boyfriend called out to check on them, and the girlfriend assured them everything was okay. But a few weeks later, Sam showed up at Sarah's door, asking for marijuana and claiming he had accidentally hit her car while drunk. Feeling uneasy, Sarah brushed him off and decided to avoid him. That night, Sarah woke up to the sound of banging on her apartment door and a man yelling, "Open up, it's the police!" Heart racing, she opened the door to find 6 officers with guns drawn. They informed her that Sam had beaten his girlfriend so badly that she was in the ICU, and he had barricaded himself in his apartment with a gun. The police used Sarah's apartment to access Sam's balcony and arrest him. Shaken and terrified, Sarah tried to move on with her life. However, Sam returned a few weeks later, leaving a note on her door that read, "I'm counting on you." Fearing for her safety, Sarah stayed with her mom for several days. Although Sam eventually disappeared, the experience left her forever changed and cautious of her surroundings. Our fourth story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of blind dates. The narrator, a young woman named Emily, had recently gotten out of a long-term relationship and decided to try her luck with a blind date. Her coworker set her up with a man named John, and they agreed to meet at the local fair. At first, the date seemed to be going well, despite a few odd topics of conversation. As the night went on, John suggested they ride the giant Ferris wheel. Once they were seated, another couple joined them, which struck Emily as unusual. As the wheel ascended, John and the other couple began acting strangely, staring at Emily with unsettling smiles. Suddenly, they started singing a haunting melody, repeating the words, "Coming to get you," over and over. Emily, now thoroughly terrified, screamed for help, but the other fairgoers thought they were just goofing around. Trapped and panicking, Emily tried to call a friend, but John snatched her phone away. When they finally reached the ground, Emily bolted from the Ferris wheel, with John and the couple chanting, "He's coming to get you!" Emily rushed to her friend's car, only to see John and the couple sitting with a tall, dark figure holding a cane. Realizing this might be the person they were referring to, Emily fled, forever shaken by the bizarre and terrifying experience. Our final story comes from a young man named Alex, who shared his unsettling encounter at a gas station. Alex was on a road trip with friends Matt, Jess, and others. On their way from Nevada to New York, they stopped at a gas station in Wyoming at around 2 a.m. to fuel up and get some supplies. Alex and some others in their group went inside to shop for chips and coffee, while Matt opted to gas up the RV. After about 10 minutes, Alex and his friends came out of the store. As they were loading up the RV, a truck parked in front of the RV suddenly hit the high beams, momentarily blinding them. As their eyes adjusted, they noticed a large man with a beard and a sweat-stained t-shirt get out of the truck and walk towards them. He was holding a shotgun in his right hand. Their group started panicking. Everyone rushed to get into the RV as the man drew closer. Someone yelled for Matt, who was pumping gas. Matt, unaware of what was happening, was still standing outside. As the man approached Matt, Alex and his friends screamed for Matt to get inside. Matt, startled by their screaming, finally saw the man with the shotgun. What happened next left Alex shocked. Matt pulled out a gun from his waistband and pointed it at the man. He yelled, "Stop right there! Don't come any closer!" The man with the shotgun froze. After a tense few seconds, he slowly started backing away towards his truck, got in, and sped off. Once everyone calmed down, they asked Matt why he had a gun. Matt revealed that his uncle gifted it to him as a safety precaution for their cross-country trip. He kept it a secret as he didn't want to alarm anyone. While Alex was unsettled by the incident, he was grateful for Matt's quick reflexes and the lucky coincidence that ended up potentially saving their lives. The experience served as a jarring reminder to always be aware of one's surroundings, especially in unfamiliar places. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the darkest corners of the human experience. If you have a scary story of your own, share it with us in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more terrifying tales.